Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 2. We are a little behind, but it's okay. I ain't tripping. Hopefully, you're not either. I'm so excited for y'all to join this show today because, oh my gosh, this is Miss Shania. I'm sorry, Shauna. I keep wanting to call you Shania, and I say that in my
Everybody
head.
does.
Who's going to be talking all about cardology, which is not the same as what the other one is. What's the other one? Cardio. I don't know, something else, but we're not.
Cardomancy.
Okay, yes, that's right. So yes, all right. So stay tuned. We also have a giveaway at the end from Shauna, and this is going to be awesome. But first, I gotta play the intro clip. Yay! Okay. So Shauna, let me just tell y'all real quick because I got a reading from her that I was like, oh my God. She's like, yeah, you're gonna have this year. And I'm like, I got it. I'm experiencing it. It's the most, oh my gosh. I'm gonna shut up because I want Shauna to talk all about what in the world is cardology. Because yeah, okay, I'm gonna shut up. I'm just gonna let you talk.
Okay. And you can start the slideshow and I'll just go from there. So my name is Shauna Blue. I'm a teacher, student, intuitive reader of cardology. I was born February 10th, and my birth card is a 2 of spade, 8 of diamond. Cardology, you can go on to the next slide. Cardology is an ancient system that is, I think she may have popped off. There you go.
Is that better? You can see it now.
Yes, I can see it now. It was perfect last time.
Oh,
yeah, you can leave it. I could still read it.
okay.
Cardology is a secret ancient Egyptian science. It predates, as far as we can research, it predates before the 14th century. For the most part, it was a very secretive means of divination, and not just divination, but everyday living. It is one of the books that is a spiritual book. It has a lot of biblical references. It's mentioned in the biblical text, which we know as the Bible, several times under coded wording. And we do have, proof to back that up. Cardology, like I said, it's a divination system. It uses the deck of playing cards to gain insight into a person's personality, life events, future outcomes. Each card has a specific meaning, and the arrangement and combination of cards provide guidance and predictions. This is not the same as cardomancy, but it is the basis or the groundwork to which cardomancy, tarot, and some of the esoteric sciences that we're more familiar with. Cardology is the basis of all of those sciences. Each card has a specific meaning, and the arrangement combinations of the card provide guidance and prediction. And so what does that mean? It means that each card, depending on your date of birth and the zodiac sign you were born under, it has a meaning specific to your life. And also it analyzes, it's symbolized in numerology, astrology, and other planetary placements in your life as well. Cardology is based on the belief that the cards hold secrets and can reveal hidden truths about a person's life path and potential. It is a tool for self-discovery, personal growth, and understanding the energies influencing one's life. So for me, cardology, not just for me, but most teachers will teach you, cardology is a subjective science, meaning that it is not objective but subjective based on your mindset at the time. It is a tool to provide you guidance. It's not a I hate, for lack of terminology, it's not a say all be all, because I feel like when you know your cards, you're in control of your life. You determine the path doesn't determine or dictate you. And so the belief that the cards hold secrets, the secret lies within yourself, that you haven't uncovered yet. And I believe you haven't uncovered it because you don't have the language and maybe the tools to help you uncover it. But a lot of times when I give cardology readings, people tell me, I knew that. I knew that, or I felt that about myself, but they knew it. They just didn't have the tools or the language to put into words what they feel. So even though it says, cardology's whole secrets, the secrets really aren't secrets. They may be secretive to everybody else, but not to yourself. Each card, it is a time system where you can also shuffle the cards and get a reading, which is why some people may confuse it with cardomancy, but cardology shuffle time is based on a 2-minute shuffle, and it's based on a particular level. The deck of cards is a calendar, and that's what it was used for. It was used back in the ancient times. It was used during war times. And the calendar is really based on a very spiritual number, and that spiritual number is the number 7. So we have 52 weeks in a year, and 5 + 2 = 7. We have 365 days a year, 7 days in a week, and 7 visible planets. And when you break that all down, even the 365 days in a year, every single day has a card. The deck of cards are also symbolic to our seasons. Each season is represented by a card. The heart's season, I'm sorry, not the heart season, the spring, the fall, the winter, the summer, they are all represented by a card or a suit of cards. The deck of cards are symbolic to spring being the heart season, summer being club season, fall being diamond season, and winter being spade season.
Can I say something real quick? Because when you're doing my reading and I'm a heart card, and spring is my absolute favorite time of year. I know we talked about that, the accuracy of how they lined up. Okay, I'm done.
No, and just let me know if I need to slow down because I tend to talk a little fast.
Yeah.
Okay. And each suit being symbolic to everything. So like when we had your reading, you are a Jack of Hearts, and hearts symbolizes, or they represent, relationships, children, marriage, and divorce. Hearts are the children of the deck. No matter what your spiritual age is, your soul self has a you may feel childlike or like things that tend to be lighthearted and childlike. The hearts also, people get shocked when I say it represents marriage and divorce. There are certain cards that tell us if a person has a lot of children, or maybe have a lot of children around them. The Queen of Hearts is one of the cards of motherhood. It is the card that symbolizes pregnancy. So if we see certain heart cards in your spread for the year, we can determine if you're likely to, experience a pregnancy or even a birth of a relationship or a business. So sometimes just seeing a heart doesn't always mean children, but it can mean something that is a new birth, right?
Wow.
The club suit represents air and communication, educational pursuits. If you are a club, you are forever a student. And today, being July 16th, July 16th is a Queen of Club, Ace of Club day. So each day is represented by 2 cards, a birth date and a planetary ruler card. And I'll get into that in just a moment. But I always call the Queen of Clubs the librarian. I have a close friend. She's a queen of club, and she's a walking, talking encyclopedia. There's not nothing that she doesn't know about everything, right? Um, and so clubs you will find also, and today us talking about cardology is great because cardology is a scientific educational system, and it's a queen of club and ace of club day. Both are cards that are heavily into education and pursuit of education. So if this is new to anyone, and they feel drawn to this today, the reason they may feel drawn to it is because the card that's governing the day is the queen of card day. And club people can be really, really chatty. Club people can, I'm sorry, I had something pop up. Club people can be chatty. They can be extremely smart. I have 3 club children, and they are extremely smart. Um, and so that you may find club people in like radio, acting on TV, things like that. Diamonds represent things of value and what we most want materially. So a diamond, there are cards that represent money in the deck. So we could use those cards. If we see it in your yearly spread, we can see this is a time where you may make money, make a partnership with someone with money. You may buy something. Of something of value. Diamond people may tend to look at them as selfish in a negative light, or maybe even narcissistic, but that's not the case. They are the only suit in the deck where you have to have a reciprocal exchange of something of value. So if you know a diamond person, instead of oh, that's the word I want to use, money hungry. So people may say, oh, money hungry. But diamonds can be philanthropists. They can just, money just comes easily to them. There are no negative cards in the deck, because we're all one, at least one of the 52 cards. You do have negative traits of the energy, right? And so diamonds can often get a little bit of a bad rep, especially there's some particular diamond cards that get a bad rep. I hold one of them, by the way. um, but it's because they need an exchange of something of value. So if you are talking or dealing with people of the diamond suit, just know that that's what that is. They're also considered the adults of the deck. So you have hearts being the children. You think of 0 to like maybe age 13 or so. And then the clubs being the teenagers up until maybe about younger, I would say young adult, like 18, 19. And then the diamonds representing we grown and we outside, that would represent like between like I would say 20 and maybe 50 or so. And then the spade suit represents the elders of the deck. The spade suit is one of the most powerful suits in the deck. Spades also represent death and transformation, and also the secret societies. So the ace of spade or the acorn, you would see on a card, and you often see that on esoteric sciences sort of things, because it is symbolic to meaning secretive. And that's what it meant way back when in the 14th century, before we started taking, I had a deck of cards here. This is my personal deck, but I guess I could show it. Before we started taking the cards and like playing them and using them for games, it really meant something. So I don't know if everybody can see that spade. And it's my personal deck because I write on my deck for certain reasons. But that acorn there, it means secretive. And if you notice, the hand is almost like the palm of fortune, where you have what do they call that hand? It's they call it the Figaro hand, I think it's called. And if you look very closely on the symbolism, how that woman's hand is out there. So each card, the symbols, because all over the world, everyone speaks different languages, but the symbolisms of the card mean the exact same thing. It's a mathematical system. And if you go anywhere in the world, 1+1 will always be 2. It is the same with this system. It is truly a mathematical time-based clock and system, so to speak. And every person, place, or thing, I always say every noun, person, place, or thing that has a birth or origination date has 2 cards assigned to it. And there's some exceptions to that. So when you are born, and you are one of the exceptions when we did your reading, when you are born, you have a birth card that represents the date of your birth. And what that also represents is your soul self. That may be the self that your loved ones know the most, the people that are closest to you. And then you also have a planetary ruler card. That represents the planet or planets ruling at the time of your birth. It represents how people view you. I always say it's the representative that people meet. It's who you are when you show up to the world. When you go to the grocery store, you're not your birth card. You are that avatar of the planetary ruler card. And your birth card is kind of behind that card. It's the one that navigates the card and makes the decisions for the card. So in addition, one thing I left out to that, in addition to everyone having a birth card and a planetary ruler card, you also have a total of 13 cards that are in your hand. So if you've ever heard that saying that play your hand right or play your cards right, it's talking about this system, but we were never taught that, because you have your birth card and your planetary ruler card, but you also have 13 other cards. Those other cards represent the planets, right? So with your birth card, you have a card that will rule Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, your transformation, and also your cosmic lessons, your cosmic reward. You also have what they call karma cards assigned to you, and you have 2 of those. One, I like to call it your blessed karma card. The other card, I like to call it your challenging karma card. You may hear other cardologists saying you have a good karma card and a negative karma card, or a bad and a good one. I tend to say nothing is bad. There are obstacles and challenges you have to overcome. So you have a card that will bless you. It's almost like a guardian angel to you throughout your whole experience in life. Anytime you meet a person, place, or thing that holds that card will serve as a blessing to you. Sometimes, however, if you meet a card that is that card and is not evolved, they may present resentment towards you, because it's like their soul knows that they owe you something. So when that card is present in any shape, form, or fashion, or energy, it owes you. And they have to pay. And sometimes people they feel it. They don't know why they feel it, but they become resentful of that. In addition to having your blessed karma card, you have a challenging karma card. And with that challenging karma card, you owe that person. So you may feel resentful and feel a lot of opposition when you meet this person. And it is because you owe them something. And what I tell people when they come up against that opposition, look deep within yourself to find out what is the obstacle and how can you best navigate that obstacle, instead of looking at it like a negative experience or something you need to avoid. And if it is going to be hurtful to you, or violent, or anything abusive, then yes, avoid that. You don't go out here looking for who you need to pay back to try. You will just waste your time and life on this earth. You just, you don't go out here and looking, okay, how, because it's not going to change. It'll change you because you'll be stressed out, but it won't change whatever you need to go through. And with each card having so you have other cards, the other 13 cards. You have Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. Mercury is how you communicate. So you would look at that card in your spread, and that will tell you how you communicate. The Venus card will tell you how you like to be loved, and how someone can show you attention. And then Mars is the card that will show you where you need to take action, or where there could be even conflict for you. Saturn is the teacher. So very similar to astrology, the same meanings that astrology would have. You would look at these cards, and that card will just be that energy for you. It will have a Saturn energy towards it. So when you see it in your spread, you're able to see, Saturn being where you need to maybe learn lessons, where you may teach, or where someone may be teaching you. And Uranus is where you could find your freedom, your individuality, you can find things that are sudden or disruptive to your life. And Pluto will represent, so if you have a card in Pluto, that will represent your transformation and your rebirth. And then you have a result card, which indicates a time of significant change, meaning you may have to change something, or you may have to end, a particular behavior that you may have in order to get a reward. The next slide is what we call this is the spread of how the cards are arranged. We call this the pure spread or the spiritual spread. And when you think of the pure spread, you think of complete order. So every card on this plate is arranged from order. King, queen, jack, everything is in perfect order on this plate. To the right of that, you will see the planetary symbols. To the bottom of that, you will see the planetary symbols. That's because when we do yearly readings, every year you move around on this plate. And you'll move in a different position on that plate. There are only 3 cards that never move. The King of Spades, and we call that the God card. The Jack of Heart, we call the Christ card, and the 8 of Clubs. These are called fixed cards. I personally have a name for the 8 of Clubs that I haven't heard coined anywhere else other than the class that I came up with it in. And I call the 8 of Clubs the Holy Spirit card. 8 is the card of infinity. The club is the air sign. Air is spirit. And so I just kind of came up with that. So I call it that. I've never heard, I've learned under quite a bit of the more well-known cardologists, and I've never even heard them coin that term. So I coined it the Holy Spirit card. And when you think of the Trinity, which is God, Christ, and the Holy Spirit, it's 3. And 3 is a prime number. You have you have several prime numbers, but 3 is a prime number, and 7 is a prime number, and 9 is also a prime number. And they are all very spiritual numbers. And for the sake of time, there's a whole lot more I could say about cardology. I just want anyone listening to critique or anything. It is teaching this, it takes years to even learn it. And it takes hours, countless hours to even, understand it. But it is a time system. And the way we read the cards, if you look at the top, there are arrows on each side, left and right, because we read it like the Hebrew text is read. We read here in America, what is it, left to right? We read the cards right to left. So if you look at on this card, on this spread, if you look at the Jack of Hearts, we would read a person that is a Jack of Heart. We would read their Mercury card as the Queen of Heart, their Venus card as the King of Heart, Ace of Heart, and then we drop down. So to read even the grand solar spread, that was a whole class for us. It took me a while to even learn how to read this, because this is a language all by itself. And then this is the life spread here. The life spread is the spread that we are born into. This is life, because life is chaotic, right? So if you notice the difference between the spiritual spread and the life spread, in the life spread, everything is out of order. Nothing is in order. The only three cards that remain are the King of Spade, the Jack of Heart, and the Eight of Club. They maintain their position. And then you have, and they're part of the family of seven, which is the fixed cards. So there are several, semi-fixed cards. So you have King of Spade, Jack of Heart, Eight of Club, Two of Heart. I'm sorry, let me get my notes real quick.
It's okay. Well, while you're doing that, let me tell everyone that's watching is that make sure that you stay to the end, because she's going to be doing a giveaway at the end, and you can only win if you are here. So be sure, if you're watching on YouTube, to drop, hey, add me in the giveaway, your name into the comments. It'll pull up on here. And if you're watching on Facebook, make sure you do the same, because at the end of this live, someone's going to win.
Yes, okay. Someone's going to win. So in addition to the three fixed cards, we have four semi-fixed cards. It's the Ace of Club, Two of Heart, Seven of Diamonds, Nine of Heart. And depending on the year, they swap places, and they're also considered cosmic twins. They don't have a displacement or an environmental position. All right. So this is the time I like to ask people if they have any questions. Also, if they have, if they want to know what their card is, I would love to tell them their card and a little bit about them. And then if you want to get deep into it, Torian, I do acknowledge your question, and Jennifer, I'll speak with you about her question specifically offline.
Okay.
But yeah, great.
Let me ask you. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No.
Okay. So if you didn't hear me at the beginning, when she did my reading, it was like, wait, what? I was so mind blown, because honestly, I had never heard of this. And so there is so much information that goes into it that, you can't be wrong. I mean, there's no way to be wrong. You got the planets, you got the cards, you got this. It's a lot. It's a lot. And so while we're, if anybody wants to know their card, go ahead and drop it in the comments. But until we get some birthdays rolling in, all you got to do is give your month and your day. You don't have to give the year, correct?
Correct.
So we'll just talk about the Jack of Hearts. That's me. And then, or you can talk about your card, or just to kind of give people an idea of what
that means. So you're a Jack of Heart, and you were born in Scorpio season. So I forgot to mention, Scorpios have three cards. They have a birth card, and they have two planetary ruler cards. And depending on, like, again, the cards are subjective. So you decide what planetary ruler card you may want to include in your reading. And Jack of Hearts have no karma cards. So remember earlier I talked about you have blessed karma cards and challenging karma cards. The fixed cards don't have any karma cards. Some people, I watch a lot of true crime. And so for true crime and celebrities, I always rush to look at their birth card. With Cardology, I found there are a lot of patterns in our personality. It's almost like the study of humans. You're studying human sociology, and I actually majored in sociology. And so when you look at the cards, you can almost pick up certain patterns. There are certain people that will come to me for a reading, and they will say, this person always seems to get away with everything. Like, they're doing this and they're doing that. And when I look at them, they're one of the fixed cards. And I always find it so very interesting. Like, wow. And people are waiting, like, I'm waiting for them to just fall into a ditch, or they're waiting for something bad to happen because this person has been so negative and bad. But there are some cards out here, they take advantage to that, and they don't get any karma. And so with the Jack of Heart, like I told you, it's the Christ card. And if you think about Christ made, if you think of the story of Christ, because I know not everybody's religious, but a lot of the biblical text is hidden with this cardology language, which is why we use the Bible a lot, because the Bible is also symbolic to our life, despite what you choose to believe in. It's a book, and I encourage everyone, to read it, because when you read it and you know cardology, a whole nother level. It's like you upgrade to a whole nother level you just could never even imagine.
Wow.
And so that's why we use certain descriptors to describe certain cards, because people can relate to it. So the descriptor we use for the Jack of Hearts is the Christ card, because it is the card of making personal sacrifices, and who made the ultimate sacrifice. Jesus made the ultimate sacrifice for us. It is the card of higher good. It's the card of higher initiation. You When you are in the presence of someone with a Jack of Heart, or that is a Jack of Heart, you will feel compelled to just elevate who you are and how you are. It's the card of unconditional love as well, I like to say. It does bring us, it does encourage us to do things from a higher position. And I do see here some birthday questions.
Yes.
Oops, my screen just went. If I don't move my mouse, it just kind of goes blank. Torian says her birthday is 10/13.
His
And
birthday.
it's a he. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Torian, I love your card. I birthed this card. This card is a 9 of club, 2 of hearts. So your birth card is a 9 of club. And your planetary ruler card is a 2 of heart. And I believe you are a Libra. I'm so sorry, Torian. I know a girl with that name. You just have one of those names that's like it's not gender specific, right? So I apologize. 9 of clubs is a special card to me. Again, my daughter's a 9 of club. 9 of club also represents the cardology system. When people think of nines, they think of endings. Or they think of like the worst case scenario. And nines do mean endings. It means completion. But when you complete something, you're completing it to graduate to the next level. So nines is a completion of your ideas. It means sharing your knowledge with individuals. Torian, you may yourself feel very intuitive, because it is a very intuitive card. Ascension, yes, you may feel like you have ascension, and depending on your age, I could give you, if you want to contact me later for a reading, I could give you a very more specific reading to your 9 of clubs card. Okay, and the next birthday, they're coming in a little faster than I can. Okay,
Let's see. 12, 17.
12, 17. Okay, because I thought I saw some more before that one. Okay. 12, 17. Your birth card is a Ace of Club, 3 of Diamond. 2 cards that I'm also very familiar with. Today we have a Queen of Club, Ace of Club day today. So it's no wonder that you're here. Ace of Clubs love knowledge, and 3 of Diamonds represents money and also creativity. So you may have worked 3 jobs at a time. You may work 2 jobs and have a creative project you're working on. But you are always looking for, something to, you're always thinking about things and how you can, work on different things. So it's definitely a card of knowledge and seeking knowledge. And if you want to get more specific and, you want to book a reading to be more specific about your card and planetary ruler card, definitely let me know. The next question, are you seeing them in order, or do they disappear on your end too?
Oh, no, I'm seeing them. Give me 1 second here. Okay, so it looks like oh, Key Divine had mentioned the Nine of Hearts. I wasn't sure. Oh, okay, I see. Their question is, what are good signs to look for in compatibility? And then the next comment that they made was Nine of Hearts. So I'm assuming, let me know, Key Divine, if I'm correct. I'm assuming they're asking about compatibility with the Nine of Hearts.
So compatibility within Cardology will be very specific, to your birth card and your planetary ruler card. It's hard to just say, oh, these cards are, they're more compatible than others. I would say those that have the highest likely of compatibility are the twos, because twos in the deck mean cooperation. It just means two people partnerships. Um, it can mean a various of things. A lot of people say that, well, we've dubbed the Five of Hearts as being the divorce card, but I know a couple of Five of Hearts that have been in very long-term marriages or relationships. So every card could kind of work with another card. It just really it really depends, and it's very specific. And you said you are a Nine of Heart. What is your date of birth?
Let me see here. I'm trying to get the comments to come back up. I'm sorry if it went away. Okay, so
I see them, but they
you see them?
disappear.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh no,
Key
they're down.
Divine. Oh, Key Divine is the Nine of Hearts.
Okay. And what's your date of birth, Key Divine? Because so there's 52 cards in the deck. So of course we have more than 52 birth dates because we have 365 days in a year. So you have some cards repeat. So not only is it a combination of your birth card, but your zodiac sign as well, your planetary ruler as well. You won't find, I think Taurian is the Nine of Club, right? My daughter's a Nine of Club, but she's a Leo Nine of Club. Taurian, I believe he said he's a Nine of Club, Two of Hearts. My daughter, Leos and Scorpios, Leos have their birth card is their planetary ruler card, and Scorpios have their birth card and they have two planetary ruler cards. So it can be a very different experience. Every Jack of Heart won't have the same experience as you being a Jack of Heart, every Nine of Club, because it really depends on your date of birth. She says she's 10/26. So again, yeah, you're a Scorpio. You're a Nine of Heart. Your planetary ruler card is a Queen of Spade and a King of Club. So it would really, your compatibility could be very complex with being a Nine of Hearts Scorpio. There could be a number of combinations that could work out for you with regards to a relationship. That's something we can dive into a reading. And when I do readings, they can go into 2 and 3 hours sometimes because it can get that deep. I think you and I were on the phone. We didn't even realize. I think almost 2 hours had passed. Because it can get really complex depending on just your birth date and just how the planets will affect you during this time that you are in your life.
So just real quick, just a reminder, if anyone new is joining, make sure to drop in the comments that you want to enter into the giveaway, because Shauna is going to be giving away something about Cardology. I won't say what it is yet, but giving something away about Cardology.
And there is one caveat to the giveaway. You do have to pay shipping for the giveaway. But the shipping is a very small amount. It won't be that much.
Good.
But I think you'll be pleased with it. If this science is very interesting to you and you want to learn about it, I would suggest finding you a teacher that has integrity, number one, because with this science, I have personally experienced and personally witnessed, it is easily to manipulate people because, again, it is a science that is subjective. So if someone plants a seed in your mind about your card, like I don't talk and say negative cards because I could plant that seed and you'll go out and do God knows what. So it's a subjective science and subjective to how you feel. And so if allowing anyone to read you, whether it's cardology or anything, you need to be very careful and do your research on people. And like I said, with this card, make sure you find people that are in integrity, because there are a lot of people out here using this science as well as others to not move with integrity. And if you want to learn this science, I have a plethora of teachers that I know that I've learned from and I've studied with that have integrity, and they do teach this science. I teach it, but I don't really consider myself a teacher, but I teach it
you
as
know
I
more
read.
than me, so you are.
Yeah, I feel like I teach it as I read people because it feels more like we're having conversations, spiritual conversations. It doesn't feel like a reading at all. At least that's what I've been told by a lot of people that come to me for readings. They say it just felt like a conversation. I've made business plans using this science. I have planned out days that money will come in. I have predicted money coming in for people with this science. And knock on wood, I've been accurate every single time. Health issues to be mindful of and watch out for. I have been able to use the cards to see that. So the cards really are, it is a book of your life. And everyone doesn't deserve access to that information about you. So just be
Right.
careful.
So we have Daughter of the Crossroads asks if you can speak on the Eight of Heart planetary
Oh,
ruler card.
yes. Eight of Heart as a planetary ruler card. Eights can get a bad rep. I'm an eight as well, and I have an Eight of Heart in Mercury. So Eight of Heart as a planetary ruler card, that is the card that was ruling at the time of your birth. And Eight of Heart planetary ruler card, are you a Gemini? You are a Gemini. Um, and so what that means is that's how people see you. That may be even what you attract. Hearts are the children of the deck. You may have a playful personality about you, a warm personality about you. When people see you, they just feel love and joy and childlike. So that is your avatar, your representative. That is who you show up as. That's the suit that you put on when you are projecting to the world out here. You're putting on the Eight of Heart. And Eight of Heart can also mean power and control over emotions. So you have to be careful with your emotions with people, because on the low side, you could be very controlling of your friends. You may not want them to be friends with other people. You may be controlling with your lovers. You may not want them to go and be with their friends or their family sometimes. You may just want them all to yourself. So eights have to be very mindful of controlling behavior because eights are very powerful. All eights are very powerful in the deck of cards. So yeah, that's an Eight of Heart planetary rule card. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Did we? Okay. Key. Okay. I think we might have addressed Key Divine. They gave us their birthday at 10/26. Yeah, because you said they're Scorpio.
Yeah, okay.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yes.
Okay, so this entire science, right, that's behind this, and you say that it's ancient 14th century, I think you said. So, like, was it our ancestors doing it, or
Oh,
like?
yes. So, based on my research as well as research of some of my the teachers and the people that I learned from it, even the books that I read, they
Mhm,
credit this to being an Egyptian or even either Egyptian or Mayan. You'll see both used. I tend to believe that because Africa is the motherland and we have already researched that to predating any and everything, I believe and I know that it is our science.
Yeah.
So not to offend anyone that may not be of African American ancestry here, but it is our science. It is the yes, ancient Kemet science, and it dates back. There are, because this was used as an actual book, there are no there is no written information about this until like 1860, I want to say.
Wow.
But this is an actual book, and so for a long time, this is what was used to communicate. And if you think in history, I love history, and if you think back to things in history, and even with biblical references about Babylon, right? Before, everyone was talking the same thing, and then Babylon happened, and everyone is not speaking the same. But the one thing that stayed the same was mathematical equations and the language of math. This book is the language of math. And so I always say it is a scientific study, it is a mathematical study. And it is, if you look at who were the mathematical geniuses and the scientific geniuses, you trace that back to the motherland. So all roads lead back to Africa, lead back to our ancestors. This is what our ancestors used. And just a full transparency, I remember having a reading for the first time at 21. And I was read by a African priest. He had flew in from Nigeria to a friend of mine's grandmother's house. And he used the playing cards to read me. And he was not using cardomancy. And it was a certain way that he read the cards. And that is the most accurate. I'm a hard person to read because of my cards, and I can explain that later. But that was the most accurate reading I have ever had in my life. And so it's a power and a magnetism behind these cards. So when I stress, like, even with anything, first seek yourself before you seek someone else. Learn yourself as well. Get with someone that will tell you what your cards are. And if anyone wants to text me, I can do a free consult about the cards and tell you what your 13 cards are. I can send you to a place to also get your 13 cards. But after you consult yourself, after you look at what your 13 cards are and you know who you are, then seek guidance. However you seek guidance, whatever you pray to the God of your understanding, your ancestors, your spirit guides, seek that guidance, and then seek an intuitive reader that's going to read these cards to you that has integrity. Because I feel like it's serious business. I use the cards every single day. And I also tend to tell people, don't let the cards influence you. You influence it. Just like if you play spades, you're going to look and say, okay, what's the best card to throw out, during this game? When you come across cards, just determine, what's the best card for the day, and then move on. Don't let it really just, get you down or feel like, oh, I got a money card today and I'm going to get some money. It could be Jennifer would gift you lunch, and that's and see the blessing in that. So, sometimes it's something as small as that. But that's my spiel on it, about it. It is our ancestral practice. It is very closely tied to the original language of our people.
That's so cool. Let me tell you this. If you want to contact her, I do have a little thing scrolling at the bottom. And again, if you want to enter the giveaway, I'm only gonna give you like one more minute to make sure that I already have 3 people that are entered in. I have their name written down. I'm going to do an old school style, pick it out of a hat, and then boom, there we go. But speaking of ancestors, had several readers. Oh, yeah, she is amazing. I'm so happy to have her on this show. I mean, I have been blessed with all of this knowledge, and to know that it dates back. And 2, if you are working to get more connected, especially with our ancestors, especially with the ancestral system like this, then I have to do the product of the day, and that is this ancestor spiritual bath. Okay. And so this is something that I created to help people, get back in tune with their selves, get back to feeling whole, knowing who's around you, knowing who's helping you, things like that. And so this type of bath right here, it smells kind of vanilla. I can't talk today. Vanilla y woodsy type of thing. And so I put the QR code up there, but I'll go ahead and also drop the link too. It is on my shop. House of Oya Shopify. No, House of Oya Botanica.com. I'm gonna tell you, I've been up since 5 o'clock cleaning all day. I have yet to go through boxes since we moved in here. And so my brain is not on here. So the words that are coming out of my mouth are gonna be a little crazy.
That's all right. Yes. You're under that
okay.
Queen of Club energy. That's Queen of Club energy. Talking fast, the information coming faster than you can spit it out. So that's Queen of Club energy today.
Right. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I have Torian on the giveaway, Miss Beautifully. I have Doc. I have Key Divine. All right, so let's see here. I am going to. Now, don't forget too, and I think this is fair, is that if you do win, you just got to pay a very small amount for shipping, and that's just to get it to you because you're getting a bulk of what it is for free.
Yeah.
All righty. So I am doing this old school, taking it back.
And while you do that, I'm going to grab the other piece of the giveaway so I can show it.
Yes. Oh, I got you. All right. So let's see here. I got a bag here I had to pull out to see who won. I know. Yes. Thank you for the knowledge. Yes, Miss Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for tuning in.
Yes. Thank you for tuning in.
Yes. All right.
I'm so nervous, you guys.
Oh, don't be.
Yeah, this is my first time doing this, and I feel like, did I say everything I needed to say? Was I saying it in order? So thank you guys for giving me grace and listening. I really appreciate it.
Oh, yes. Awesome. No problem. Okay. So we have a winner. Let's see who it is. Doc.
Oh, wow. All right. So Doc, you will get, and let me know if you have these and you want to pass it on to someone else, but you will get the Cards of Destiny and the Love Cards, which are 2 books by Robert Camp, based on this system. They are really, really good books. I use them in my readings. If you see any of my books, they are tattered, and they're brand new. They're tattered, they're written in, everything, but you will get these 2 books, and you just have to pay for the shipping, and I'll get that right to you. You just send me your address, and I'll make sure you can text me your address, and I'll make sure you get both of these books.
Yay!
If you're interested in this science, I do suggest that the first thing you do is really get this book. I would get this book first because I teach people learn yourself first, and then get Love Cards because it just tells you more about relationships, and it tells you how to. Someone asked the question about compatibility. This is a good basis to what cards you may be compatible with. So I love both of these books.
Nice.
Oh, she said, Doc, you just manifested that. Yes, absolutely. Congratulations. I'm happy.
So, Doc, make sure you grab her number that's scrolling at the bottom of the screen so that you can contact her to get your books. Shauna, this has been amazing. I am so grateful for you coming on here because, again, you have taught me so much. I knew nothing, but then that reading was just amazing. So, and
I've been studying this, and I come across stuff. You learn it every day. Like there's something new. Even some of the older teachers that's been doing this for a while, I will ask them questions or we'll go over something. They're like, wow, I'm just now figuring this out, or you just taught me something. So
Wow.
you can never master this science. People say they've mastered it. The masters are dead. Let me tell you, if they've mastered it, they're dead. Because you will find like nuggets all the time. When you learn it, you just open up. Like I said, it really unlocks new levels. It really does. And it helps you give grace to others, because you can't help what card you're born as, And so when you notice that a person, and you study cards enough to see the patterns in certain cards, you will notice that. And they can't help how they were born. So, you deal with them accordingly. The author is Robert Camp. He also has a website, Seven Thunders, I believe. Robert also has a podcast that he does for free. I forgot what days and times, but if you Google Robert Camp, he'll come up, and his podcast and all of that will come up. I vouch for him, even though he is not African American. I do vouch for the system and his integrity and how he teaches it. And he's also a very good reader. He's been doing this for umpteen years, but he's very good, and he's taught me a lot. And if you get a chance, listen to his podcast. At the end, he allows you to ask questions and things like that. Thank you so much. I have those books in my Amazon cart. I definitely need to buy them now. Confirmation. Yes, get them. Yeah.
Yes, that is for sure. Well, I have had so much fun today. Next week, thank you so much. Thank you. And congratulations again. Next week on the Jennifer L. Watson Show, we are going to be talking about the spirituality of kids, right? So people that have children, people that are involved in other children's lives, we're going to chat all about that and how to handle and navigate that world of kids coming into their own. And so you don't want to miss it. You do not want to miss it. We'll be here again live next Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to have another product of the day, and we're just going to keep it rolling.
Yes, and you know what? Because you're a jack of hearts, children are very, very, very important to you and special to you. And what I find with Cardology, a lot of people don't want to study their children cards, and I was guilty of that. So if this is a system, you want to learn and incorporate it. I had to start learning the cards of my children, and that helped me better parent them and better support them. And I have a saying, a lot of people say, oh, soft parenting, soft parenting. I'm going to tell you, not every card comes here to be soft parented. Some of them you may have to get pop to not abuse or anything like that, but just a little, don't do that. But, it helped me learn that I have 5 children. So certain cards that my children have, it helped me understand and parent that individual instead of just adopting a parenting style and trying to apply it to the whole of all the kids, right? So I think that's so great. And I will definitely tune in to you about the kids, because I have a lot of kids. I love kids.
Yes, I'm telling you, listening to that, I know my youngest, he's almost 2. He is completely different from my oldest, who's 10. So yes, I get that. Trust me.
Yes, yes.
He's only maybe 2. He just be doing what he wants.
Yes,
anyway, I digress.
We need more conversations about parenting, so I love it. I'm here for it.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. This is so fun. I will see you next Sunday. Do not forget to subscribe, hit that like button if you haven't already, and share out the recording, even though we're done. Meant to say that at the beginning, but it's okay. All right. Well, I'll see y'all later.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.